Hello peoples! In today's video we are in the 325A and we're taking a look at some of the best weapons you can use in 314 for this ship. We are especially looking at the guns, but we will also be testing a few different missile types as well. I have 3 builds for you to look at today, including energy repeaters, cannons, and a mixed weapons configuration with ballistics. The Urkel link for each build is in the video description below. If you like what you see in the video, then check it out, give it a try in game. Come back here, leave a comment, let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you changed, all that good stuff so that people can learn from your experience, not just mine. Now, if you like and enjoy the content, please hit the like button, the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you'd like the 325A and you're new to Star Citizen and would like to have the ship for your very own, after you watch this video, you will find a link at the end that will take you to a different video that will explain how you can win this ship by entering my giveaway. We are now at the point where I tell you to get a drink and a snack. I'm thinking chips and salsa. Sit back, relax, let's see how we do. For this first build, we're going to go with laser repeaters. It's going to be a mono build, but what we're going to do is put our repeaters into a couple different groups because we have a Rhino and a couple Panthers. We are also going to be using Thunderbolt 3 size 3 missiles. The 325A can carry a total of 6 of them. They hit a lot harder than the size 1, but you still have the problem where missiles miss a lot in 314, so just keep that in the back of your mind. So after we soften up the target with a couple of missiles, we are going to switch over to guns. Notice that the size 4 Rhino is in its own group. That's so that we can swap back and forth between the 2 different laser groups and continue to fire on the target when one group has been depleted. This is a mono build. It's the best way to prolong your DPS. So notice that my Panthers have run out. I'm going to switch over to the Rhino. As the Rhino is firing, the Panthers are going to charge back up, and then we can cycle back and forth. Now you can see I'm going to continue to just cycle back and forth between the 2 weapon groups. I find that this gives me more constant DPS on the target. It's great for taking out shields and then putting pressure on the target, whittling away the armor and that kind of thing. Some people like to have all of their weapons in the same group. I feel that that depletes the energy pool a lot faster, particularly when you have larger sized laser weapons or energy weapons in that pool. And you have to wait for that energy to be replenished before you can use all of your weapons again. By cycling back and forth, the energy gets replaced in each pool differently. It's basically a way to just maintain constant fire on the target. Now here you saw we got the warning for the shields going down, so what we're going to do is use the speed of the 325A to get some distance and let our shields recharge. That's one of the strengths of this fighter. It's got the same speed as an Arrow and a Gladius. I think a Razor can beat it, and I know the 350R can beat it, but not by much. So that allows us to dictate our range, whether or not we want to engage, or in this case we've opened up the range to the point where we're going to use our Thunderbolt 3 missile again. So again, these missiles, they hit a little bit harder because they are a larger missile, size 3, but in 314 it's kind of hit or miss. When you hit, it's nice. When you miss, it sucks. So now that we're back into gun range with a fan favorite, the Hurricane. What would a mission be without a Hurricane in it? Yes, I know. It'd be cool. But what we're going to do is continue to cycle back and forth. So you notice that I'm using both the Rhino and the Panthers cycling back and forth. I'm able to keep a lot of pressure on the Hurricane, which is really overpowered at this point in time. My Panthers drain out, so now I switch over to the Rhinos. As soon as the Panthers come back up and the Rhino goes down, I switch back over to the Panthers. And because I'm able to cycle back and forth, I'm able to continuously put pressure on the Hurricane here. And of course, after we've been putting pressure on the Hurricane, he goes boom, which is exactly what we want to see. So now I'm going to use this opportunity to talk about something that I get asked a lot. Lead pip versus lag pip. So right now we've got a Valkyrie. I'm going to switch over to a lag pip. You can see it right there. So my nose is actually in front of the pip. And I'm going to keep that lag pip on the target. Now, it's kind of personal preference, but I switch back and forth between lead and lag pip a lot. I don't always show it in my videos, but I actually do a lot when I'm playing the game. If it's a slower target and a bigger target like this Valkyrie, I'm going to go to lag pip because I can more easily control where my shots land. If it's a more maneuverable target, like let's say a Buccaneer or maybe an arrow, I'm going to go to a lead pip because I want to basically know the direction that the target is going before I have to shoot at it. If that makes sense. We'll show a couple more examples a little bit later on. So the next build that we got here is going to be another mono build, but this time with laser cannons. We're using all Omniskys. We've got the size 4 and the size 3 version of it. We're still using the Thunderbolt 3. We're going to open up, as you saw, with basically a missile strike and then drive in on the cannons to see if there's a shorter time to kill here. Now, cannons do have a slower projectile range, but they hit a lot harder. My impression is that I prefer using cannons more than I do repeaters. I seem to get the feeling that they just take the target out faster than with repeaters. Now, there's a whole bunch of issues with desync and all that stuff that come into play. So for right now, I think cannons are not a bad option because it takes fewer hits. And if you're going to get desync, people like to make the argument that you're going to miss with those cannons. Well, you're also going to miss with a whole bunch of your repeater rounds as well during the time of that desync. So once again, you can see that our shields went down. We're going to go ahead, throw everything into the shield power to try and get them back up. But we're going to press the attack anyways because that's just how we like to do it. So coming up on this Freelancer, we're going to go ahead and probably change from lead pip, which is what we're at now, and see how it's forecasting where the target's going. That's what I like to see on a fighter. This is just a good example of using it. So I'm able to kind of figure out where the ship's going to go, and now I've switched to a lag pip, and now I can just put those rounds anywhere I want on the target. Now there is a little bit of play there because the hitboxes and all that stuff, but you get the general gist of it, right? You can, on a much larger ship, like think maybe an Idris or something like that, you could definitely concentrate your firepower on one engine itself, for example. So the last build that we're going to do is going to be a mixed build. Here we're going to go with an Omnisky size 4 fixed laser cannon, and then we're going to go with 2 size 3 Tarantula GT870 ballistic cannons, just for a little change. We also have the sparks, so as you see there, we're going to lead in with a whole bunch of spark missiles. Some of them are going to hit, some of them are going to miss. That's just the nature of 314 right now. We avoid a missile shot at us. Again, the 325A, not the most maneuverable fighter, but not bad. You could do worse. So as we close into gun range on this Vanguard, the reason why I went with Tarantulas is because I wanted a little bit of variety to kind of showcase the different types of weapons that we have. Now, ballistics are not in a very good place right now in 314, but they're not going to stay that way forever. You do have 200 rounds with these Tarantulas, so that's not too bad. I am going to use my Omnisky laser cannon to basically take the shields out before I engage the ballistics, and I'm only going to use the ballistics when I'm pretty sure that I'm going to hit. Now, I still may miss, but I want to make sure that I am going to hit, if at all possible, to conserve those rounds. So here we get a pretty good, profile on the Vanguard. We let fly with a couple laser cannons as well as a few ballistics. We're spinning around. Notice that we're taking a little bit of damage from some of the other fighters here. We still have the lead pip, so that's forecasting which direction the Vanguard's going to go, and I can capitalize on it and hit them pretty hard to take them out. So now we're going to move on to the next target. However, I'm going to give a little bit of boost to my shields because I took a little too much damage from that last engagement. I get a Vanguard that goes right in front of me, so we're going to go after him as hard as we can, try to take him out very quickly, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use our laser cannon to strip the shields, and only when we think that we're going to get a pretty good hit, like right here, we're going to use our ballistics. Notice that I did switch back to a lag pip because I could put that pip right on the target and know where the rounds are going to hit. That just leaves the next target. As you can see here, we've got another Valkyrie. It's not going to be too hard to take it out. A little bit slow. We're going to stay on the lag pip just to showcase that a little bit more, but we're going to do the same thing, whittle it all down. So you guys let me know what you think has the faster time to kill. I'm definitely leaning towards the cannon builds, either one. The mono build seems to do a pretty good job, as well as this mixed weapon ballistic build that we got. As far as ammunition goes, as we basically finish off this Valkyrie, we started off with 200 rounds. We're now down to just about 135, so we got more than enough ammunition to go do yet another VHRT mission. So despite the fact that 314 is really kind of giving it to the ballistic weapons, they're still kind of viable, at least on the 325A, using these size 3 tarantulas. Don't forget, the Oracle links are in the video description below. Go ahead, try them out. If you're new to Star Citizen, you'll also find a referral code down there. It'll let you get 5,000 free UEC when you open up a new account. As always, till next time, take care.